Salute and welcome to B1 Bushcraft. Survival, outdoors, hiking, camping, adventure, exploring, and travel. My name is Orlando. My trail name, they call me Dog Tags. And I am proud to announce today that I will be among the class of 2022 Appalachian Trail through hikers. I will begin my journey. I'll be a Nemo hiker, which means northbound, and I'll be starting at Springer Mountain, located at Amicalola Falls State Park, and I'll be trekking all the way to Mount Katahdin, Maine, located in Baxter State Park. Woo! Yes! I'm excited about this. This is something that I've always wanted to do. I've dreamed of it since I started hiking and backpacking and hitting the trail. A little bit about myself. I'm an ex-military vet. I'm a combat veteran. I served 2 tours of Iraq, 1 tour in Kuwait. I'm an outdoorsman, adventurer, bushcrafter, and I love to hike. So what I do is I combine all those into one for a great backcountry experience. So I cannot wait to get on the trail with my thru hikers, my fellow classmates of 2022. And today I just want to go over some of my gear. I'll be doing my big 3, which I call the top 3 items of survival in the backcountry, which includes my backpack, my sleeping bag or sleep system, and my shelter, or better known as my tent. So my backpack, my sleeping bag, and my tent. So the way I want to do this, I don't just want to tell you what I've got, but I also want to give you a little insight explanation as why I chose the gear that I did. From somebody of my background and experience, from combat and just being in the outdoors, I have a different perspective on some of the gear that I decided to use. And I also can appreciate other people's perspective on the gear that they choose on the trail or in the backcountry. Because what works for one person may not work for you. So if it doesn't work for you and it works for somebody else, that gear is doing you absolutely no good. So let's get started. Without further ado, the first item I want to bring to the table as far as my survival gear and what I'll be taking with me on the Appalachian Trail 2022 is my pack. Now, before I get into the pack, I just want to throw this disclaimer out there. I am not an ultralight backpacker, camper, explorer, none of that. That's just not me. I get it, I understand. Salute to my fellow weight snobs, where they count calories as much as they count weight, but I'm just not that guy. That's just something I'm not into. When I was in the military, sometimes we've had to carry packs that weighed more than we did. And so I'm just not an ultralight backpacker. I get it, but that's just not me. So the research I've done going into the pack, I have researched over 100 packs. Everything from the Deuter brand of backpacks, the Deuter 65, the Osprey Atmos, the Osprey Ether, the Osprey Kelsey, the Z-Packs Arc Haul, the Hyperlight Mountain Gear 3400, the Junction, the Ridge Runner, Chicken Tramper backpacks, Light AF backpacks, and even the Ohm 2.0. And actually I was considering getting the Ohm 2.0, but the deal breaker for me was it didn't have a compression strap at the bottom, and I like to carry my foam sleeping pad at the bottom, or just have alternative strapping methods for the bottom of the pack. So for the pack I decided to bring is the Mystery Ranch Terraframe 65-liter backpack. Let me tell you why I chose this backpack. Well, for starters, it has a removable brain. It has a completely removable brain, and not only is this brain removable, it turns into a day pack, a mini backpack, or if you wanted to use it as a fanny pack. You can take this guy, you can just sling it over your shoulders and go on about your business. And if you wanted to, you could take this and it converts into a small pack. Also, this pack is made from a 330 denier nylon. It's not waterproof, but it is water resistant. So for that, I'll be using this Nylafume 20 by 37 inch bag liner. I've used trash compactor bags before. No big deal. They all work the same. As long as you're able to keep your gear dry, that's the main concern. Also, moving to the back of the pack. The lighter you go with backpacks, the more they seem to cut corners with the padding. And this backpack is very beefy. There is a lot of padding on these shoulders, which will help distribute the weight and take some of that fatigue off your shoulders as you're hiking. So that was a main concern of mine, is the comfort in the shoulder area, as well as in the hip belt. The hip belt, very flexible. It comes in a 5-part section, and it's very flexible. It moves with the weight of the pack, and it also moves with your body. It moves in the direction of your body, so it's very flexible, which will ease fatigue and to keep most of the amount of weight centered on your hips, as opposed to your shoulders and the back, well, the front side of the pack. And also it has a very comfortable, thick padded area for the lumbar region in your back. Also, Mystery Ranch has integrated this back stabilizer to be used as a separator where you can adjust the yoke of the pack. And the yoke of this pack is completely removable, where you insert this part of the pack into the brain of the pack and it converts into a mini day pack. So it's a very versatile piece of kit. And to put it back in, you just do the reverse. You adjust the yoke according to your torso length, and remove the brace and insert it back inside the yoke. And then as well, this frame is an internal external frame, which allows this frame to detach completely from the backpack and removing the entirety of this pack, where you can just use the yoke and the frame, the brain of the pack, which serves as a mini pack, and you can strap whatever to the frame you deem necessary to complete your backcountry adventure. The only changes that I made to the pack were I added this Z-Packs 1 liter water bottle holder, and I also added these Z-Packs trekking pole holders, 1 on each side, and I also have them attached to the rear of the hip belt, 1 on each side. And since this particular pack doesn't come with a hip belt pocket, I opted for an aftermarket hip belt pocket from REI Co-op, and I went with this hip belt pocket. Very versatile, completely removable. It's not waterproof, but it is water resistant, and it's made out of a ripstop nylon, which adds to its durability. And like I said, if I need to remove it at any time, it's completely removable. Other than that, that's the Mystery Ranch Terraframe 65 liter pack. It has compression straps on both sides. It also has compression straps at the bottom, along with a series of daisy chains to hold additional gear, as well as not 1 but 2 torpedo pockets on the front with 2 zippers to store additional gear. These are some extra bungee cords and straps that I added to hang wet gear or anything that I need to put on the outside of the pack. And it also has a series of daisy chains with an integrated loop at the bottom where you could either put an ice pick, trekking poles, or anything that you need to add to the pack. So that's it for the Mystery Ranch Terraframe 65. Will be the pack, my number 1 out of the big 3 that I've taken on the Appalachian Trail this year. Oh, forgot to mention that I do have my tent poles on the side, which leads me into our next item, which is my tent. And for my tent, I decided to go with the Nemo Dagger 2P, 2-person tent. This tent is a beast. Do you hear me? I have been in thunderstorms. I have been in snow. I have been in extreme cold weather conditions. This tent outperforms, or I'm sure can compete with any tent out there on the market. And I've reviewed, I've slept in some other tents. I tried the Z-Packs, the Duplex, the Soloplex. Big Agnes makes a nice tent. REI has some great tents as well, but this tent is for me. Nemo has a lifetime warranty. As a matter of fact, I just received this tent back in the mail about 2 weeks ago because I was in Unicoi State Park and I was attacked by 3 bears. And they destroyed this tent. Do you hear me? And Nemo repaired, they had to do some repairs to the tub of the tent. and they did a great job on the repairs, and the turnaround time wasn't bad considering it was the holidays. So I just had this tent out, just going over it, and I did have to make 1 or 2 minor repairs just where the bear's claws had ripped and created holes in the mesh lining of the tent, and I also had to have about 2 or 3 panels of this mesh replaced. So other than that, me and this tent got history, and she's ready to get back on the trail. And to go with the tent, of course, I have the footprint, the Nemo Dagger 2P footprint. Very light, very durable. It can also serve as a tarp. If I decide to sleep in the shelter, I could jimmy this up to a shelter, and I could block rain, wind, or any elements that come my way. So that's why I decided to go with the Nemo Dagger. It comes in at 3.5 pounds, 3 pounds 5 ounces, not including the tent stakes. I got a smorgasbord of tent stakes going on here. Some random ones. These are the MSR groundhogs. These are the 7.5 inch version. I won't be taking these. I'll be getting the MSR groundhog, the 6 inch minis, 6 of those. And I'll also be taking these Z-Packs titanium shepherd hooks. And I'll include these in the pack with my 6 MSR 6 inch groundhog mini stakes. And they'll be making a trip with me. Now, as far as my sleep system, my sleeping bag, I decided not to go with the sleeping bag. Although I had my main sleeping bag was the Swagman Roll. This is a very versatile piece of kit. I've used this in the back country, and it served me well. This serves as a poncho. This serves as a poncho. It serves as a blanket or a quilt. It serves as a sleeping bag. It serves as a hammock. It serves as a ground sheet. So yeah, this Swagman Roll is a very durable piece of equipment. It's protected by Climate Shield, and it's rated 20 degree sleeping system, but I wouldn't test it or take it out on 20 degree temperatures. I just wouldn't do it. I took it out up until September of last year, and it held it pretty good, but it's just not insulated enough to hold back the elements and the climate when it gets cold. So I love my Swagman Roll, but it will not be making a trip to Mount Katahdin. So on that note, I decided to go with a sleeping quilt. This is my Enlightened Equipment 20 degree Revelation. It's a fully customizable quilt. I decided to go with the 20D digital camo on the outside, and the standard tendoneer ripstop material on the inside with a burnt orange, just in case of emergency. And since this quilt is fully reversible, it can serve as an emergency blanket. So I decided to go with this. Very, very, very lightweight. It comes with a very light ripstop nylon stuff sack. I'm pretty sure I'll be using this. I'm not sure if I want to use a dry bag to put my sleeping bag / quilt into as of yet. I still have time to decide. I'm sure I will. And it comes with this very nice hang sack, which I won't be taking as well, because I'll be using this Thermalite Reactor Extreme by Sea to Summit sleeping bag liner. It'll serve as my sleeping bag liner, and also it'll serve as my hang sack if need be while I'm in the back country. And it's rated for an extra about 10 to 12 degrees extra warmth. And if I'm not using my quilt, then I can just use this as a sleeping bag. So very versatile piece of kit. And since I won't be using an inflatable sleeping pad, I just don't like those things. I've had some in the past, some military made, some American made ones. I just don't like them. My weapon of choice is the foam sleeping pad. You don't have to worry about punctures, rips, tears, trying to find a hole in the middle of the night. This thing is bomb proof. It's very versatile. There's nothing like peace of mind when you're in the back country. I know that some people like comfort items on the trail, and some people use this alongside an inflatable sleeping pad. That's just not my style. I get it, but as for me, I'll just be taking this foam sleeping pad by Xped, short for Expedition. They're a very great company. They make other outdoor gear as well. And that's what I'll be taking. Now, as for my pillow, yes, I'll be taking a pillow. My pillow of choice, the Trekology 2.0 Aloof. This pillow has been with me I've had this pillow for over a year. I've took it on at least 20 to 30 expeditions, and this pillow has not let me down yet. And I don't anticipate that it will. This pillow is very durable. It's lightweight. It's about 3 ounces. And it comes with a removable strap, so you don't lose your pillow. You don't be chasing your pillow at night. Or you can just use a buff, a handkerchief, or put it in a shirt. It's really no big deal. But this is a very durable pillow. I have the Sea to Summit Arrows pillow as well. It just won't be making the trip. I'm gonna stick with my Trekology, my tried and true Trekology. And that is it for my top 3 that I'll be bringing with me on the Appalachian Trail 2022. So I thank you for watching. If you have any questions, leave a comment below. I'll try to answer every single question. If you feel inclined, subscribe and follow me on my journey. It's going to be an epic journey. It's going to be exciting. And I'm doing this for you. Those of you who can't make it due to a physical or a mental disability, or may want to do it, just don't have the time or the resources right now, I'll be doing this for you. One step at a time, one foot in front of the other. For every step that I take, you take as well. So I thank you for watching. I will be making other videos. I have an upcoming video on my cook set. I have another video on the gear I'll be taking, and another video on just some miscellaneous items that I'll be taking with me on the Appalachian Trail Thru Hike 2022. So stay tuned. I hope you enjoyed this video as I enjoyed making it, and I will see you on the next one. B1 Bushcraft, salute, and we out of here.